And then when you bring the stick, like, you know, when they're about to whoop you, like you clench your ass, right? But then they had...
Sunday wind down, Ida with the voice on the speaker, Sunny on the mic and it's all round. Conversations are bigger, so fill my cup. I'm already tuned in all the way up. I can't stop listening now.
Welcome to the Sunday Wind Down podcast. And we're back again with another exciting episode with my favorite co-host,
Ida Alicia.
And I am DJ Sunny Sistuki.
Yes, also my favorite co-host. Thank you for joining us. If you haven't followed us already, go ahead and follow. What are you waiting for? We love to hear from you. So go ahead and utilize the comment section. We enjoy your feedback. Thank you.
A word of advice. When you do tune in, just pour yourself a glass of wine.
Listen.
It makes a little bit of difference.
Yes. Cheers to that. I'll drink to that.
So, speaking of another Sunday, another week has gone by.
Yes.
Since our last episode. And I've been looking at what has been going on recently. And there's something utterly disgusting that I saw.
Yeah.
This dude called a lama, Dalai Lama or some sort of a lama. Not the animal, not the lama animal, okay?
Yeah, that's what you said. I was like, wait, some sort of a lama. Dalai Lama.
The Dalai Lama is how it's called, right?
Yes.
There was an incident, and I don't know what city or country it was in. I really didn't do much research into this thing. But it just irritated me when I saw it, where he attempted to kiss a young boy.
Yeah, Sunny, man.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, man. It's trending everywhere. And apparently, Sunny, something that I just learned about this thing is, this is not only a religious leader. You know how people have the Pope, some people have the, oh my God, what are the other ones?
Yeah, just know
the big
Pope.
Ones. Like I also just know the Pope. Like, I don't know, but you know how they have that?
Yeah.
He's not only that for that area, wherever he lives.
Tibet.
For Tibet, he is also their leader, like their political leader. So he's it.
He's the president and the priest and the Pope.
Yeah, you know how we have like Christianity, Muslims,
Yeah.
they don't have that.
Yeah.
It's him and it's him, period.
So it seems like he might have felt like he can get away with it.
Absolutely, and that's what I'm saying. Like, mtampeleka wapi? You know, unless you like the American government. You know what I'm saying? Like, his government, he's going to get away with it.
Yeah, so also I found out he's the 14th Dalai Lama.
That's crazy.
So apparently there's been many Dalai Lamas, kind of like the Pope, like you had mentioned earlier. And then there's another part of it too. When they choose the next one, it's not a succession of family.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually like someone has to be chosen by all the monks.
Okay.
Who they think is a reincarnation of the previous Dalai Lama.
Oh, that's crazy. So are they going to be significantly younger?
Yes.
Okay.
Because this guy was born in this current one was born in 1935 or something.
Hey, that's a while.
Yeah. So he's old as hell.
Right. So I'm wondering, so they sit in this throne until they die? Oh, that's wild.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Imagine.
Wow.
Or until they're almost dead.
Right.
Because if they look like they're going to die soon,
they will be
succeeded. They'll start succeeding him. They'll start the process of succeeding him.
Yes.
Well, now, why is it like these religious leaders, the popes and the Dalai Lamas of the world, want to prey on young boys? And it doesn't make any sense to me anyway, because these are supposed to be people we look up to.
Right.
But what is it with these religious leaders and young boys and this sexual thing they have going on with them? It's so sick in the head.
It's sick, Sunny. I just don't understand, though. Like, I don't think there's any reason, like even one reason I would think of to justify it.
Yeah. I saw this thing today, actually, that there was 17 cases of young child molestation in the last, I don't know, a week or month or something in the US.
That's a lot.
And out of the 17 cases, like 13 of them were church leaders.
Wow.
And 2 of them were police officers. So it seems to me like these people in authority are taking advantage of these young minds, and in a very sick way. Like the whole topic of pedophilia is just sickens me to my stomach.
I know. It's wrong. These people should just be punished by castration, if you ask me. I mean, like, what's the worst punishment? You know, like, if you say death penalty, are you really just like penalizing this person, or are you just making their getaway quicker? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like something should just be like so painful and so slow for you.
Yeah, I think they need to be like put on display somewhere. Like tied up somewhere on display publicly, somewhere high up, so everyone can see them. And then they should be starved until they're about to die. Then they're fed just a little bit.
To keep them alive a little bit longer.
And then they're just beaten and like they're done to until they're about to die. Then they're revived, and that should be done till they naturally die.
Yeah, wow, that's really painful. I mean, clearly you're sicker than I am, but okay. Like, you know me, I was just thinking, castrate them, shit. You know,
like,
but okay.
That's how much I feel like this is such.
You know, Sunny, I'm sorry. I talked ill about you rating this damn podcast, cause fuck.
Don't get me wrong. That's why I forgive much easier, because if I was to not forgive you, my friend,
oh my god.
But,
yo, that's wild.
Yeah.
I'm just grateful. Well, I don't know. I am somewhat grateful. And I'm not trying to be insensitive to this generation and all that's going on. I'm just grateful that I didn't have to go through something like that.
Yeah.
Because that I feel like that creates such trauma that you could never ever get past. Even if, you know how we talk about, and I am just a big advocate for therapy, and we talk about therapy, but I feel like you can cope. But something like that, like you being taken advantage of at such a young age where you knew nothing, like somebody literally used you. Like, I feel like getting over that, Sunny, would take so much. It would take so many years of healing, even if you put in the work. You know what I'm saying? Like, oof, like I said, I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm so grateful that I don't have to get over anything
Speaking
like this.
Speaking of past traumas,
go for it.
But one of my past traumas is vodka.
What do you mean? You drank so much you started speaking Russian? What happened there?
No, I had a really bad episode with vodka when I was a freshman in college.
Okay. Was this your first time drinking vodka?
No.
Okay.
So in Kenya, growing up, you know, you drink Safari Ken.
It's not vodka, please.
Oh, it's not vodka?
No, please. It's illicit brews.
You know, it's legal. It's not illicit.
I know it is still illicit, please.
Okay. So drinking all those vodkas in Kenya, Smirnoff, Kwanzaa.
Smirnoff, yeah. Now that's a vodka.
Yeah. And then I came to the US and I was a young drinker. Okay. So all I knew was Smirnoff and vodka.
Right.
So when it was time to drink, you go to vodka because that's just the basic.
To go to.
And one night, I think I was trying to show that I'm an Otero, that, hey, I have a tolerance.
Otero? You know? Who uses the word Otero in the 21st century? Ati Otero. Sasa unasema pa ponyi.
Yeah.
Sinya. Okay, Otero. So you thought you were it.
I thought I was it, right? So
yeah.
I was like, yo, I can drink so much and all this.
And how much is so much at this point?
So it was a bottle of vodka.
Yo, that's a lot.
Yeah. And I drank it like dry, like just straight from the bottle, right? And then I partied a little bit and I guess I passed out at some point in time. And I threw up in my sleep. And I woke up drenched in...
Oh God, yeah, and it's a little graphic. You should rate this podcast.
That's why this podcast is rated explicit.
Yo.
You see now? You see?
Oh my God, TMI much?
Yeah. So the smell of vomit and vodka mixed.
How many years ago was this?
2002.
Oh, son, it's been
21 years.
21 now.
Yes. The smell of vodka and vomit. So if I just smell vodka anywhere, it brings me this trauma. Like I want to throw up. Just the smell of vodka makes me want to throw up. Do you have any alcohol that has done that to you ever?
Well...
Do you have alcoholic trauma?
I don't think so. I mean, occasionally, like, I drink tequila personally. And it works well with me. I think what I do have some... Jameson traumatized me. We used to drink Jameson everywhere we went. We used to have picklebacks. Remember? We used to go to Hibernian and they'd know us. Like, pickleback? Yeah, we used to order like 13 picklebacks.
So for those who don't know what a pickleback is, it's a shot of Jameson that you chase with a shot of pickle juice. And it neutralizes the Jameson that you can have so many shots
We could have like 10 shots in
and
well, not really
you don't
10.
feel that burn going
Maybe
down,
8.
but you feel it in your head.
Right. And we could have so many shots where like we're leaving Haibani and we're all just up there. Man, you get home. You know how you feel like, oh, I could just do a cheeseburger real quick before I jump into this bed, and then you take this cheeseburger, took a bite, it goes and touches the Jameson reacts. Yo, I threw up Jameson. Have you seen me drink whiskey since?
Is it to the point of you can't do Jameson anymore? Is it to that point?
Not to that point, but like if I'm doing Jameson standing, please come save me. It is not by my will. Like I have tried completely to avoid it, and somebody's forcing it down my throat. It's like that.
So
but
next time
Jameson
I see
shakes
Ida
me.
drinking Jameson, I'll record it for proof that
Ew.
she didn't have a gun to her head.
Probably, guy, what you're saying it's easy. Yo, no, but let me tell you another past trauma that I have, Sunny. When I look back in my life and all the things that I've gone through, but I go back to as a child, Yani Sunny, violence was so common as a child. I remember, and we like lived in the ghetto, we lived in Kayole, we lived in Bahati, in Maringo. Like that's considered ghetto, you know, and I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Like we had a good life. But like one standard was, you know, the houses, the walls were thin, Sonny. The walls were thin. You could hear your neighbor's conversation unwillingly and with your TV on. Okay? Like the walls were that thin. But like you could just like hear, oh, Baba Dero, anapiga Mama Dero. And today is there.
Yeah.
Sindio. And the houses, kama umeshimarish, God, you know that it was like a circle. All the doors were close to each other. And then like you get into your little rooms. Like the houses were really small. So then next, like if you want to come out of your house to go to the toilet, we share a toilet, like 3 houses share a toilet, and you all have your key. So if you're trying to go to the toilet, you pass Mama Natasha's house. Hey. Now Mama Natasha is being beaten. Yesterday it was, you know what I'm saying? Like it was just such a normal thing. And I started thinking, I was born and raised in Kenya. I don't know of other, probably African countries and what their practices are, but from the movies I know that their men are violent too, like Nigeria. I know that we've seen Ghanaian movies, they show that too. So I know to some extent it's not very what's the word, it's not very specific to Kenya. But what I'm saying is it was so normalized, like the men would talk about it kwa bar. Huyo bibi nimempiga jana proper. Yeah, I slapped her proper. You know, and women were being told, yo, if he doesn't beat you, hey, you anadhani anapendwa. Hey, if your husband doesn't beat you, hey, he must not love you. Maybe he has another one outside. You know?
So it was a gesture of affection.
It was supposedly. I don't think it's true, but like supposedly was. Like they thought, oh my God, he beats me because he loves me.
Did you hear about these stories of these Nyeri women beating their men?
I heard that too.
Yeah.
And that was very specific to Nyeri.
Oh, it was specific to Nyeri.
At the time.
At that time it was very specific
and people from, is it, guy, I'd rather say Karatina. Also, they have like a small reputation over there.
Doing that?
They are the... Yo, if I get smoke for this, they are considered the angrier black women of the society of Kikuyu women. Those women from Nyeri and Karatina, they are hot. They're hot. Hey,
you
don't play. Moranga, man.
Okay.
There's just such avocados. It's so dilute. We're so chill. And then you don't have energy because you know Moranga is healing. Imagine just going up and down the hill. You have energy to be dramatic. No, you have to go up the next hill, man. See what I'm saying? But that was a traumatic experience. And the beating, I just didn't know why they thought, these men thought they would control their wives or their households in this way. You know, it was so normalized. Ilikuwa ile mpaka unaambiwa, usiingilie, don't get in between this.
Yeah, it's just normal
They'll be
behavior.
okay. Yeah, they'll be okay tomorrow. Just don't get in between it. You know, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and I think it connects me to being beaten as a child also.
Oh, yo.
You know.
Because in school?
Yeah. Hey, we were beaten. And then I think luckily, girls were beaten on their hands like this.
You don't know. Me, I was in an all-girls school. We were beaten even on our buttocks.
Oh, us guys, I was in a mixed school. So girls, I would see them being told to kneel down and then they're beat over here. And then the girls are being told kneel down. And then when it's time to be beaten, they're told they're chapward, then they go.
Okay.
Boys, we are told to kneel down.
Boy child. Mulianza mapema.
And then when it's time to be chapward, you're grabbed like this, you're put on the table, and then
they whoop your behind.
They whoop your behind.
I knew it.
And they grab you from you're kneeling down.
Yeah.
They grab your sweater and throw you on the table, on the desk.
That was what was it called? Corporal punishment.
Yes.
It was painful.
And we were beaten.
Do you know what teachers used to do for our school? They used to ask you to like lay your hands straight, like your knuckles facing up. And they would beat you with a ruler straight like this.
On your knuckles.
On your knuckles. Like, why?
So
why would you do that? Like, why are you sick in the head?
Yeah. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just a thing from that generation. I don't think it's too common today.
No, probably not.
Yeah.
I think even in Kenya, they talked about it like to the government level where it was punishable by law.
Now?
Yeah, a few years back.
Okay.
A few years back. So I know for sure it doesn't like happen to the extent that it used to happen to us.
Me, I know I was beaten one time in primary school till I could not sit on my chair. You know, you couldn't sit on your chair. And then, like, and when you go home, right, you're trying to look at your butt in the mirror because it has purple lines from where you were beaten.
Study your light, that's why they were purple. Me probably, they will be maroon.
And it was not, and then these teachers had got it down to an art.
A science.
It was a science, you know. First of all, they tell you to go grab your own stick. Yeah,
I remember.
Yeah.
God, I didn't realize this was so much trauma for me too.
And then when you bring the stick, like, you know, when they're about to whoop you, like you clench your ass, right? But then they had Ida, follow my train of thought here, please.
Okay.
So it's not funny, it's very traumatic.
I can see it. The problem is I've experienced this before.
Yeah.
We're living the same life, Sunny. Oh,
Imagine.
Lord.
So when the teacher is about to whoop you, you clench your ass when the stick is about to land your ass, right?
Yeah.
But then this teacher knows you've clenched. So the teacher will stop right before the stick meets your ass. And then you loosen. And then that's when he strikes. Hey, my friend.
Yo, I'm sorry.
So like you're always confused on when to clench and when to release. You know, it was there was no timing. There was no right timing. Because
you know me, I think if you're to look at the bright side, you learned something
what did I learn? Do tell me. Because I really could have done without that. I could have done without that.
Hey, one of these days you'll kill me on this podcast. That's so funny that my cheeks hurt. I was saying, I promise you, you learned something from the clenching and unclenching. See, and was a pull-out game.
Now, really, gentlemen. I thought pull-out game was taught when you dip your biscuit in the tea. And you have to get the biscuit out before it falls in the tea with the right time.
I guess your analogy was different. But I'm sure the clenching and unclenching helped. I'm so sorry that was a traumatic experience.
It was a very traumatic experience.
I'm sad to go here, but I'm going to go there. I remember another thing was, like, growing up, we were very, I can't believe I'm going there after laughing so hard. I feel like it's wrong, but I remember in school, if the kids found out that, God forbid, your parents died and like somebody took over or you live with your auntie or whatever, they treated you kidogo different. Not really? In a positive way. I know I've seen that in the school I went to. I know, like, and we were like, what? We were like 10 or 11. Like, we were such kids, but they would also always speak like, that's not even his mom or that's not even his dad. There would be whispers. No, I know I've had that, you know? And like, it's sad. I just feel like adoption or like having somebody, that's still adoption, even if your folks die and your auntie takes over, that's still adoption.
That's technically some sort of adoption,
yeah, I feel like that wasn't such a norm in growing up. Like, it's nothing that was talked about. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, you still have a family. Like, there's nothing wrong with it, but like, it was so stigmatized. And it brings me to today's life. Like, 20-year-old, in fact, 25, actually, scratch all that. Maybe till 29. At that age, wow. I don't feel like I had the same approach that I have right now with adoption.
And for full disclosure, Ida just turned 31.
Yes, just a few days ago. So it's 2 years ago.
2 years ago?
Yeah, I was 29. I said, so that's 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah, 29 was 2 years ago.
Yeah,
yes.
That's what I'm talking about. Like 2 years ago, I didn't think that I would be where I'm at mentally with adoption. 2 years ago, I was like, I'd rather just have my own kids. Like, and then I just didn't know. And this is my experience. You know, you don't have to feel offended. This is just how I felt at the time. I'm sorry if you do. But I just felt like I would rather have my own children. And if I do even have just one, if God decides just one, I don't feel like I would need to add one more because I didn't know if I would treat them the same as how I treat my own.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's always been a fear just because of my background growing up. And then now, like, fast forward to today, that view has really changed. I am at a place in life where, like, if something were to happen to God forbid anybody and their child needed whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, or even just found like an accident somewhere and they need a home, I am so open to taking that kid in and treating them as my own and loving them as my own till the wheels fall off. I mean, do I think that eventually you have to tell these kids that they were adopted? I think so.
Yeah, I think it's good to be honest,
yeah? Yeah, I would eventually. But like, I'm telling you, Sunny, like they would never even doubt
that you were their mother.
That I was their mother. Like, even if I told them the adoption story, they'd be like, wait, what? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm at that point. I don't know about how you feel about adoption at your age, your current age right now, or even how you felt in the past.
So I would say mine is opposite. 2-3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, I probably would have been, yeah, sure, I can adopt. And then I had a child of my own. So maybe if I adopted without having my own child, I would have probably had the same view as you now that, I would give my all to this child.
Right.
And as much as I want to be a good person, I want to be a better person, I think there are certain pulls to my heart from my daughter that I am unable to ignore. If I were to adopt another child, then as much as I think I would want to treat that child the same way as I treat my own and everything.
You basically where 29-year-old Ida was. I had the same view. Like, if I have my kid, I'm not sure this other kid that I get that I didn't like sire.
Yeah.
And I wasn't part of the process of bringing them into life.
Right.
Like, I don't feel like I would equally give them the same amount of love and attention.
And I think it has to do with my own child, from the time they were born, there are things we've gone through.
Right, there's milestones.
Yes, and like the sleepless nights, the time the baby is sick, the pulls it has on you.
Right.
And the spectrum of emotions that you go through, and all those things. It takes a very strong person to adopt when they already have kids of their own.
I feel you.
Because I got blessed enough to adopt a child while I have my own child. I'm not saying this I wouldn't do my best. Yeah. I would do my best for that child. But at the same time, I don't know how I'd feel then. But having a kid of my own, I really feel like it. I don't know if I have it in me to give more to mine.
Yeah, no, sorry, but let me ask you this. And hopefully I'm not putting too much of information. But a few years ago, before your kid, you had such a different view in life.
I did.
You know, and I feel like seeing you with your kid, it's like so different. It's like I've met you twice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't feel like when if it's in God's plan for your life to adopt, you don't feel like then you would turn a whole new leaf that would experience you in such a new, different way. You don't feel like just because of the love, you know.
Yes, it could be very possible because also I did not know I would be the father I am.
Right.
I had no idea.
I swear to God, none of us knew. I promise you that.
Yeah.
I mean, and I give you your flowers. You are a good dad.
Thank you.
You're so present. Man, I love watching you and your kid. Like, even when we're all just chilling, I just love watching you guys. Like, you're a good dad. Let me tell you, scratch 2 years ago. If somebody asked me if Sunny would be a dad, I'd be like, hey, good luck to whoever sires with that man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's so different. And I feel like if life gives you that opportunity, we are on this podcast, what we've done, we've established that it's okay to change your mind.
Yeah.
You know, that's one thing, and that's one rule we even go by in real life. Yeah. Honestly, it's okay if you change your mind and you are feeling this thing so hardly, Jana, and you don't today, it's fine.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it might change, but I just feel like maybe knowing that you are going to be life to this new kid. Probably, God forbid, their parents died in an accident. Like they're young, they're like 5 months old, or even a year old. At that point, they don't really have memories of parents like that. Like, you knowing that you are coming into this kid's life to create a whole new chapter. I feel like you'd be more that's how I feel about me.
Probably.
I would be just a tad bit more gracious.
Yeah, like the feeling I have now is very biased because I am thinking
currently
about everything I think about is about my daughter.
Yeah.
And I have not been put to the test for that. So I don't really know how I would act. Feeling how I feel today, I give my daughter 200%. And to be able to, I don't know if I have any energy to take away from that to give to another child. I feel the same way about having another child.
Oh, okay.
Like literally, it's not even about. So come to think about it, maybe it's not towards adoption.
It's just
maybe
another
it's just
person
towards having
altogether.
another person to share this love with.
Altogether.
Like I'm done, one and done. And
right, but you, like we said, we are definitely. This is life. We are definitely allowed to change our minds.
Yeah, and tomorrow I might have another 2, 3, 10 children. Who
That's
knows?
what I'm saying. It's okay. We've established that changing your mind is okay in this life.
Exactly.
There's no rules like that. But let me ask you this: how do you feel about So let me just flip this coin a little bit. How do you feel about like surrogacy, or you donating your seed for somebody else who can't have a child of their own to have a baby?
Again, before I had a child, I think I would have been all about going to a sperm bank and giving my seed and all that.
And that's changed?
That has changed. Like
Why?
I really feel like that is a part of me. You know, having experienced that closeness of a part of you.
Right.
There's a connection an instant connection that happens that you cannot even explain until you experience with your own child.
Right.
And to feel like there will be that actual biological part of me out there that is working on connecting with someone else. Like I feel like that is it's an inferior connection than the connection you have with your actual child or your actual parent.
So what you're saying is, now I'm trying to think, Sunny, as much love as I have in my heart for my sister's kids, like, I would cut off my limbs to.
Oh, I know you would, yes.
As much love as I have for Kate's kids, or even Zoe, like, you want to tell me there's more?
Yes, there is more.
Like, already I feel like I can, whatever they need, you know what I'm saying? Like,
trust me, there is more. So, wow. This is someone told me this before I had a kid.
It's so crazy. Like the way you explain it, I'm like, wait, I feel I experience love with my nephews and all this. I experience love in such a massive way.
Yeah.
And there's more?
Yeah, but
shit, I'm gonna change my mind. Okay, I think I'm gonna make some babies.
Here's the thing about you though. You experience love in that massive way, not just with your friends' kids or your nieces and your nephews. Just in general, when you decide to love, you experience love in such a extra way. You see
You're
what I'm
calling
saying?
me out now.
No, I'm just saying that's how you are. It's a good characteristic of yours. You know what I mean?
Well, I get it. Thank you.
So someone once told me this, that your spectrum of emotions is when you don't have any kids.
Okay.
Say this is if 0 is the middle ground.
Okay.
The happiest you've ever been is a 5.
Okay.
And the saddest you've ever been is a -5.
Right.
And that is you when you don't have kids, right?
Okay.
And if maybe your happiness is super happy, that super happy is a 5. Let's call it a 5 on a scale of 0 to 5.
Yeah.
When you have kids, the happiest you can ever be from a 0 point is like 500.
Wow, and the spectrum is up to 5, so it's
and there's
extra.
But then it goes the other way as well. The saddest you'll ever be is also a -500.
Wow.
So, like, the thing that it does to you when your baby has a fever, like you've never felt. You've dated someone and they've been sick,
right?
And you felt like, oh, I feel bad for them; they're sick,
right.
But when your own child has a fever, that feeling is a very different feeling.
Yo, you just got me goosebumps.
Yeah.
Man, no, I feel you. I don't fully understand, maybe just because to that capacity I'm not a parent. Like I feel like I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like everything affects you 500 folds.
Yes.
Like more than it would a normal person.
It's like really crazy.
And thinking about that way, Sunny, to answer the same question, I probably would 5 minutes ago say that I would not have a problem giving my eggs, like, in my mind,
to someone that needs them.
To someone that needs them, yes. In my mind, Sunny, it's just an egg. I already shed this monthly. I'm saying I have no attachment to the egg itself, it will be useless to me if I don't use it. And there's a family out there.
When it attaches to...
But it hasn't for me yet.
Yes, but when it does, your genes are in that egg.
And that's beautiful for me.
Your biology is in that egg.
And to me, I don't see a negative in that. To me, I'm actually thinking... I think, and I pray to God, I'm just not being like, but I think I am kind. I think I am whatever. All the qualities that I think I have, I would not have a problem passing them on to a few people.
Now, what you're not thinking about is there's an invisible emotional connection to that egg.
But where I'm coming from, I don't have any emotional connection to the egg.
You don't until that egg has life.
But when it has life, whatever gives that egg life is what will have an emotional connection with that egg. And I'm saying this to myself because you see, like if it's an egg, to me, I have no emotional connection. If it's removed and put in a jug, if they decide to eat it, I have no emotional connection. But what I'm thinking is to the people that I'm helping, if I give you that egg, you guys have an emotional connection to that egg.
True.
I don't.
Yeah, but that emotional connection is created.
Absolutely, and I didn't create it.
It's not a natural connection.
No, but I didn't create it. I didn't nurture that.
So why is it that when kids find out that they were adopted later in life, maybe it was hidden from them, and they've had the most nurturing life, they still go looking for their biological parents?
Sunny, curiosity, I get one. I just want to see what my folks look like. And I just want to ask them, like, why did you give me
You don't think there's some invisible connection tagging at them that, hey...
No, I feel like... And I feel also like just depicted in movies, it's a little different. But I would say the way adoption is shown, they find out because they're fucked up somehow. Or an issue or a medical issue. It was
hidden because of an issue,
You see what I'm saying?
Otherwise it would not have been hidden.
Exactly. So I feel like if you approach it from a place of... you already know that you were adopted. It's not a secret. It was an egg donation. So you will never be curious enough because you have everything. You will never, and that's just what I'm thinking right now. Again, allowed to change my mind. You'd never be like, okay, so where was the egg from?
Maybe
you've never missed
someone
anything.
Who's been adopted,
I think, or somebody who's already donated their egg or their sperm.
Get both sides of the story. So if it's you on the comment section or an anonymous email to us, please do, because we'd love to hear about this.
It would be so enlightening.
Now, since you've talked about adoption and surrogacy,
right?
What are your thoughts on abortion?
Sunny, abortion to me, and this is just again my personal views, okay, based on my life and my thinking at this point in life. I feel like it should not be criminalized. I feel like if I feel like I am not in a position to nurture life at this point, I should be allowed to make that choice. Making
the choice is fine, but overall, let's say, what are some of the things that you think would make it okay?
Well, first of all, my choice should make it okay.
Okay.
Because I know me. If I'm not fit enough, maybe financially, I'm not fit enough mentally. I'm not fit enough even just physically. Like, why would I want to bring a child that I know I'm just going to stress or struggle bringing up? And even if they grow up fine, they have to worry about me because I'm not okay mentally, physically.
Let them get adopted.
No, why should I allow myself to carry them to term, give birth to them to get, like, if I can take care of that process before it has to go that far, why not now? I said my views could change.
That's right. If it happens, if it's a big health risk. And again, everyone has their choice, right? So I personally would not go that route just because I think of who this person could be. Right, like you've already created life. At what point does it become life? Now, I don't know the scientific facts.
No, but to you.
To me, I think when a girl tells you,
I missed my
pregnant.
period.
No, I'm pregnant. Like, I think when someone is pregnant...
You would know in 2 weeks, you would know in 4 weeks, you would know in 6.
Yeah, because I'd say as soon as they have a heartbeat. I don't know. I haven't even thought
when
that deep
does the heartbeat come in? And so later.
I don't know the scientific...
Yeah, no, I know I don't... But I'm just trying to justify also.
Yeah.
Like, when you say life, it hasn't become life yet. And I'm just playing devil's advocate at this point. When you say you've created life, it takes a while for it to be life. So what if we sit down and decide no?
this is not the one. Yeah.
You know, like it hasn't become life. At this point, it's still my egg and the sperm. You know what I'm saying? Like it hasn't really become life. But it hasn't become life if you're saying giving life.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're talking about the Roe versus Wade and all those arguments that people had a while back.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know.
So I still think it should be a woman's choice to do what they want to do. My personal opinion, I don't think I need to judge or criminalize someone for making a choice depending on deciding wherever they decide to terminate their pregnancy.
Right.
That's up to them.
Yeah.
But me personally, I feel like I would not do that.
Yeah.
But now also, I'm not the one carrying the baby to term.
Again, and yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. It's not your body that's doing all these things.
If my opinion had any weight,
you would
then
say
it
no.
would go against, yes.
Okay, so me personally at 31, see, I got the age right this time. At 31, if I were to get pregnant, right now, I'm 31, I'll keep the baby. You know, because I want babies in the future. I don't want unplanned for kids. I would honestly much rather plan for them and with a person who, even married or not, a person who we've decided, hey, are we having kids? Let's have kids together. You think we're gonna have kids together? You know, it could be a contract, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I would probably like prefer to plan.
Yeah.
Right? But if it were to happen right now, I'm keeping the baby.
Yeah.
Like, because I know I'm capable, where I'm at in life, where I'm at mentally, I'm capable.
Yeah.
You know? If this were to happen, say 20 years ago, I probably wouldn't keep that baby.
20 years ago, you'd be 11.
No, 2010. I meant to say when I was 20. Sorry.
Okay.
Like, I would probably not keep the damn baby.
Yeah.
Because what? I'm a baby.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't got anything, you know, set up for it. You know, I just felt like I wouldn't be at a place. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm saying it at the end needs to be because of different reasons.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you this, Sunny. For example, you know, there's this test they do when you're pregnant, and they say they check for if your family has a history of
mental illness,
spinal
or whatever.
bifida, mental illness, you know, stuff like that. They will check, and they'll tell you, it looks like your kid is missing, so chances are higher than that they may not be 100% fit when you bring them to term. So you have the option to abort
terminate at that point.
That point, or keep the baby and just know that you're gonna live with this responsibility because you're gonna have to take care of them. What would you do in that situation?
Keep the baby.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
For what reasons?
I have an older sister who was born with a mental condition. Okay. Yes, and from birth.
Yeah.
And I've grown up with my sister. And I have friends who have kids with Down syndrome.
Yeah.
And I've seen them to the point where they're teenagers. And there's a different positivity, a different light to people who have some of this Down syndrome or some of these conditions.
Yeah.
Like they're different kind of happy beings.
Yeah. And they make you feel a different kind of love.
And they make you feel a different kind of love. And I would want to explore that.
Yeah.
And see how that is.
Yeah.
Now there's situations that are tricky, like, but I don't know if they can tell that during pregnancy, where they say, you know, and I'm not a medical expert in any way, shape or form,
right?
But where they would say there are chances of your kid living to 2 years old and are slim. Like there's a 99% chance that your kid will live till 2 or 2.5 and then they'll die.
Yeah.
Because of certain complications. In that case, I may be more inclined to say, let's do it now. Together. Yeah. Versus have all this suffering going on until
and you get attached and then now you have to lose them. But if it's like
a mental illness or a deficiency, not illness, because it's not an illness, it's a deficiency from birth. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. And I totally agree with you. Honestly, like once already I have gotten to that place of pregnancy, you know, and we had this conversation like separately from this podcast. And earlier I felt like if it's a big issue and we know we can't take care of it, I'll probably not. But yeah, I guess you're right. There's just some special kind of love that comes there. Yep. And I feel like they say, God doesn't give you what you can't handle. And, you know, I've had experiences like this in family, and those are just the most beautiful, genuine, extraordinary human beings I've come across. Yeah. You know, and it's beautiful. Sunny, would you rather have loved and lost or never loved at all?
Loved and lost.
That's nice. Me too. And we're just gonna end this podcast at that note.
Yep.
We'd rather have loved and lost. It's a beautiful thing. Love is a beautiful thing. Experience it in any capacity that you can, and give love in every capacity that you can.
Absolutely. Till next time, ladies and gentlemen, tune in to Sunday Wind Down. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, and share. And we're looking forward to seeing your comments and see what your thoughts are.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm okay, Sunday wind down, baby.